Mohammad Nabi Mousavi Fard's June 20th, 2025 sermon in Ahvaz advocating for field trials and public executions of citizens who oppose the Islamic Republic is a direct call for systematic assassination under the false pretense of justice. By demanding the execution of Iranians accused of cooperating with Israel without evidence, without due process, and in public, Mousavi Fard has openly endorsed murder as a tool of state power. This is not religious discourse, it is a state-issued death sentence delivered from the pulpit. This comes amid a wave of mass arrests under vague accusations of supporting or collaborating with Israel. The Imam of Ahvaz now considers such individuals as traitors. His remarks are not an isolated outburst. They represent a deliberate and coordinated effort to normalize extrajudicial executions and to terrorize the population into silence. Also, Maysam Mottii actively incites public complicity in potential extrajudicial executions under the guise of religious duty. As a state-sponsored ideologist, he weaponizes sacred language to provide moral cover for state violence, exploiting his platform to sanctify brutality. The vague and manipulative labeling of individuals as Mossad spies or traitors is a deceitful and deeply repressive strategy long used by the regime to eliminate dissent and silence opposition. By framing state vengeance as divine justice and using hashtags like Season of Traitor Killing, Mottii manufactures a climate where suppression is disguised as righteousness. This is the ritualized corruption of faith and law to justify political bloodshed. Furthermore, on June 15, 2025, Mohammad Ali Abtahi, former Khatami aide and so-called reformist, called on Iran's military to target traitors inside the country, accusing unnamed citizens of bombings and assassinations. His use of the term fifth column and claim that these Iranians are more dishonorable than the enemy was a blatant call for internal bloodshed, dehumanizing dissenters to justify violence. This is not a rhetoric, it's a constitution of the Islamic Republic's core doctrine: systematic murder of opposition. As seen in the 1980s mass executions, targeted assassinations, and crackdowns to this day. Abtahi didn't deviate from reformist values, he exposed them. Reformists and hardliners are two faces of the same regime, both committed to preserving power through fear, militarization, and repression. There are no moderates in a system built on bullets, wrote Iranian Americans for Liberty on X. The Judiciary Media Center announced the execution of Majid Mosaebi on charges of corruption on earth and waging war against God through alleged espionage for Israel. According to the reports published by Mizan News Agency, Majid Mosaebi, son of Rajab Ali, was executed after his sentence was upheld by Iran's Supreme Court. The judiciary-affiliated outlet claimed that he had been in contact with a Mossad agent named David in a Gulf country, allegedly passing on weekly intelligence reports about his activities. No further details were provided about the location of the execution, the circumstances of his arrest, or the nature of any confessions. The lack of transparency has raised serious concerns about due process and the use of capital punishment in politically sensitive cases. Moreover, Iran's Judiciary Media Center announced the execution of political prisoner Mohammad Amin Mahdavi Shayesteh, who had been accused of spying for Israel. The judiciary claims that Mr. Mahdavi Shayesteh, son of Ahmad, was hanged for allegedly engaging in espionage and intelligence cooperation with the Israeli regime. Authorities further alleged that he was the head of a Mossad-linked cyber team, responsible for tasks such as relaying instructions from Mossad officers, leading online operations, and even coordinating on-the-ground activities. His death sentence had been upheld by Branch 39 of the Supreme Court He had been held in Ghazal prison in Karaj following a death sentence issued by the notorious Branch 15 of the Revolutionary Court in Tehran, presided over by Judge Abul Qasim Salavati. The main charge against him was collaboration with a hostile government. However, sources close to Mr. Mahdavi Shaisteh's family had previously stated that the charges lacked credible evidence and that he had been forced to confess under extreme pressure. His arrest and trial were reportedly marred by due process violations, including denial of access to a lawyer of his choosing, raising serious doubts about the fairness of the proceedings and the legitimacy of the conviction. 3 men, Idris Ali, Azad Shojai, and Rasul Ahmad Rasul, were executed in Urumiyeh prison after being convicted of waging war against God and corruption on earth through collaboration with the hostile state of Israel, according to state-affiliated Iranian media. Authorities claimed the trio had imported assassination equipment into Iran under the guise of alcohol shipments through a neighboring country. These alleged tools were reportedly linked to the assassination of an unnamed individual, though no further details were provided. The Revolutionary Court in Urumiyeh issued the death sentences following indictment and hearings, which state sources say involved the presence of the defendants and their lawyers. The Supreme Court later upheld the verdicts. Despite official claims of due process, human rights organizations have repeatedly raised serious concerns about such cases, citing lack of transparency, denial of access to independent legal counsel, and forced confessions under torture. The true nature of the charges, the identities of defendants, and the integrity of the judicial process remain gravely in doubt. Following Israel's recent strikes on Islamic Republic regime targets, state-affiliated media in Iran have reported a mass wave of arrests on charges of espionage for Israel. According to these reports, security forces have detained more than 700 individuals during what's being dubbed the 12-day war, accusing them of intelligence and sabotage operations. The alleged charges against the detainees include coordinating suicide drones, manufacturing improvised explosive devices known as IEDs, filming sensitive military sites, and transmitting intelligence to Israel. The reports claim that those arrested are currently under interrogation. Provinces with the highest number of arrests reportedly include Kermanshah, Isfahan, Khuzestan, Fars, and Lorestan. So far, no official arrest figures have been released for Tehran, leaving the scale of the crackdown in the capital unknown. The scope of timing of these arrests, amid a tense military and political climate, have raised alarm among rights groups who warn that the regime may be using the conflict as cover for suppressing dissent and targeted perceived enemies with little to no due process. Nazanin Abedini, a Baha'i citizen and children's music teacher living in Qa'im Shahr, was arrested by security forces and taken to an undisclosed location. According to reports, agents of the Islamic Republic forcibly entered her home without presenting a court warrant, broke down the front door, searched the premises, and confiscated some of her personal and electronic belongings. As of now, no official information has been released regarding the charges or reasons for her arrest. Her detention comes amid a renewed wave of security crackdowns targeting the Baha'i community across Iran. Also, Arman Nikain, a Baha'i citizen, composer, and music instructor residing in Qeshm, was arrested by IRGC intelligence agents in Shiraz and taken to an undisclosed location. According to reports from human rights activist news agency, security forces stormed the home of the Momtazian family, Nikain's in-laws, without presenting a court order. During the raid, agents searched the house and confiscated the electronic devices of those present before detaining Mr. Nikain. A source close to the family reported that during the raid, Arman Nikaian's mother suffered a severe anxiety attack due to the shock of the incident and was taken to the hospital by ambulance in critical condition. As of now, there is no information about his whereabouts, the reasons for his arrest, or any formal charges against him. His detention is part of the broader ongoing crackdown on the Baha'i community in Iran. Additionally, Iman Rahmat Panah, a Baha'i citizen living in Shiraz, was arrested by security forces at his home in the presence of his children. Agents of the Islamic Republic entered the residence, searched the premise, and confiscated personal belongings, including his phone, laptop, and Baha'i religious books. According to his family, Rahmat Panah is currently being held at the Intelligence Ministry's detention center in Shiraz, known as Pelak Sad. As of now, no official charges or reasons for his arrest have been disclosed. This is not the first time Rahmat Panah has faced arrest due to his religious activities. His detention is part of the continued and escalating pressure on Iran's Baha'i community.